Hello and welcome to Tuesdays with Annette. That's right, get your apron on, get your ingredients and let's get cooking because it's home egg time in the Simply Too Good kitchen. That's right, Tuesdays are special because you get the chance to cook with me. So have you downloaded your recipe for today? And what it is out of book 6 and it's the fabulous Indian dish, Indian Tikka chicken. Oh, it is one of my favorites. It's really a delicious recipe and so much healthier than the traditional Indian. The good news is it's also in cooking for 1 or 2, so you can make it serve 4 or 2. So you are ready. Are you ready to cook? Okay, so what we're going to do first on Tuesdays, it's always our routine. You know what you got to do. We're going to go over to the sink and wash our hands. All right, we've got a 20-second wash. I'm using the doTERRA On Guard. People have said to me, what are you using over there? Because you don't even really need water with it when you're doing your hands. And I'm so thrilled for Melbourne, yes. You can go 25 kilometres now and you can have people over. So you could make the Indian Tikka chicken for a dinner party with 2 extra people and some kids. All right, let's wash our hands. Now, the good news is with this particular recipe, I give you variations as well. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's go back to last week's show where I made the fish Italiano out of cooking for 1 or 2. We had it for lunch that day. I'm still thinking about it. It was so fabulous. But we've got 3 winners. That's right. Erica Scott, Anne Churchman and Denise Gibson all put their photo of their fish on the comments or into the comments and they won a cookbook. It's that easy. So today, Indian Tikka chicken. So I've got my wok ready because I'm sorry, I use my wok for everything. I've got my chopping board. I've got my fabulous Neoflam sharp knives ready to start chopping. And then our utensils. I've got a can opener, wooden spoon, a ladle, some measure spoons. We need teaspoon and tablespoon there and a little whisk, or a fork would do fine. So what we also have here is a bowl and some measured cups as we go. So if you've got the recipe there, you would have already bought 500 grams of skinless chicken breast. And we're going to dice that in a minute. You've also got an onion and I'll show you how to cut that up. It's not diced today. That is basically the hard work done. Chicken and onion, once you've done that, it's good to go. So we've got the jarred ginger and garlic. We want a teaspoon of each. If you want to do fresh, good on you. I'm just using the jar, super easy. We want a can of crushed, no added salt tomato paste, some stock powder. I'm using the Marcel chicken because I like it because it's lower in sodium. Now this is what we're going to make magic with, and that is this Tikka paste. The Sharwoods is the brand I've got, and we're going to use that to give it the authentic Tikka flavours. I know on MasterChef they'd want to be grounding and dicing and doing all these herbs, and no, we're opening a jar today, easy peasy. I've also got a can of evaporated light milk and we're going to use coconut essence and I'll talk about that in a minute as well, and a teaspoon of corn flour to thicken it all up, and of course my rice bran cooking spray for cooking. That's all we need. This is a super easy recipe. So are you excited to, let's start cooking. All right, so first of all, I want to get the onion out of the way first. Oh, did I talk about the fresh coriander? Hello. Yes, it's there too. Now, I want you to take the ends off your onion and then cut it down the middle. I always find it's easier to peel it once you've done that. So just peel all the skin off your onion and then I'll tell you what to do. So thanks for joining me. Hello, if you're just tuning in, we're going to India today. Yes, it's Indian Tikka chicken. Now, this recipe is in book 6, but it's also in cooking for 1 or 2. Now, when you look and see me throw things over, that's because I've got my little bin here, my little pink bowl, and I like to throw my rubbish as I go. Let's clear it. Now, if you've got it peeled, what you're going to do is you're going to cut each of the pieces in, so we've got quarters now, and then slice. Don't do it too thick because you don't want a big chunk of onion in your mouth, but really all we've got to do for this recipe is chicken and onion. I know! How amazingly easy. And I really love it with the chicken, but you can do the variations. And I tell you in the recipe book that variations are beef, lamb, and tofu as well. All right, so onion ready. Now I've got my bowl. I'm just going to put that, take it out if you've chopped up, put it if you can into another bowl because I'm going to use the same board to do the chicken. All right, so there's the onion done. Are we good? Now let's do the chicken. So it was 500 grams of skinless chicken breast, and we're going to cut it into dice. So just go down the middle of the breast to the side and dice. Now, the difference of this to a traditional tikka chicken is straight up we've used the breast because most Indian cooking, they like to use the thigh and they'll also include it with the skin. So we've cut down a lot of fat straight away by just using the lean chicken. So I hope you're chopping away there and getting all your chicken ready to go because once this is diced, we can start cooking. That's how easy it is. Now the fat count for this would be atrocious in the Indian shop. That's why I don't do Indian takeaway because it's just so high in saturated fat because they would have put maybe some ghee in, they would have definitely put some oil in, a lot of oil. Then they would have, as I said, used the chicken thigh. Then they would also add the double cream to this recipe. Oh my gosh, I can feel the fat going on in my thighs as I talk about it. It would have to be at least 40 grams of fat. Yeah, I know. So, my way, chicken, 6.9. Yes, you're welcome. Beef is 10.6, lamb is 10.8, and tofu is 14 grams. So, how good is that? So, have you caught up with me? Hello and welcome to Tuesdays with Annette. It's home ec with Annette. I'm just going to go wash my hands. So go wash your hands because you've had the chicken. Oh, actually, no, let's not because we're going to cook the chicken first. So why double wash when we don't need to? So get that fry pan heated. We've got our rice bran spray. And now let that heat up and we'll slowly add in the chicken breast because we've already diced it. And that way we'll just brown it off for a couple of minutes. So this is one of those recipes, if you're not a confident cook, it's a great way to get started. And a lot of people have bought their children as they're leaving home my cookbook saying, at least I know now you're going to get food to eat because it's so easy. And the Cooking for 102 is exceptional for that. Because like for me and Bill, I don't mind having serves 4 because we'll get it again later in the week. But sometimes it's just quick and easy to do the serve 2. But it can be frozen, but with the evaporated milk it will only really be suitable to be frozen for about 2 or 3 weeks, okay? So just remember that. Right, now let's wash our hands. I don't know whether you can see outside or not, but it is raining like buckets out there. We're having some crazy weather. How about you guys? So tell me, what's the weather like where you are right now? Look out the window and I want you to type in the comments. You right, Bill? What's happened? Well, hi guys. As I was saying before, we've got really rotten weather out there at the moment, so it just suddenly went on us. I do apologise, but let's get back into it. So just to recap, we're making Indian tikka chicken. 500 grams of diced chicken gone in the wok now. Sorry about that. Honestly, you never know with the internet or whatever it is that we're using what's going to happen. It's out of our control. So now, hopefully you've turned your chicken. Let's get back to it. Then in goes the onion. Oh no. The garlic and the ginger. I'm sorry, that was supposed to go in earlier, but then they kind of cut us off. So a teaspoon of garlic and a teaspoon of ginger. Well, thanks for joining me. I'm sorry we had a problem there, but let's pick it back up. We're making Indian tikka chicken. We've done the 500 grams of chicken in there, diced, the breast. We've just now put in a teaspoon of garlic and ginger. You can do fresh if you want. So just coat that with the chicken. And then we chopped up an onion. We cut in half and then quartered and just sliced. So put that into your dish, into your pan. I'll just turn that up a bit. And you just cook that for a couple of minutes. So anytime you ever see it freeze or that, it's not our fault. We don't know how to stop it. If there's any tech people in there that could advise us, it's the internet, Bill goes, it's internet. You know, a blessing and a curse at the same time. So, hello, thanks for being with me here on Tuesdays with Annette. Now remember, this is only 6.9 grams of fat compared to probably what 40 is, which is ridiculous. So while I'm just cooking this, I'm going to, and I suggest you do the same, get your coriander and you just take off the leaves. Just pull them off. That's it. And we want half a cup. Now, if you're saying, Annette, I don't like coriander, because I know my daughter, she says, oh, just you're either in or you're out with coriander. You could replace it with basil, you know, if you really wanted. But we've got shocking weather out here at the moment, and I'm just curious to know, that was what I was asking you before we suddenly lost you guys. What's the weather like down your way or up your way right now? We're having rain. What are you having? I mean, it's so humid here. We've had to actually put the air conditioning on so we can work efficiently in the office. So how crazy is that? So pluck off all your leaves. If you wanted to weigh it, it's 10 grams, just in case you wanted to check. But it's half a cup of coriander leaves. Let's have a look how I'm going here. Oh, I'm nearly there. And then we'll get on with the cooking. This goes in right at the end, okay? And you just fold it in because it doesn't really need much cooking at all. It just goes into the hot dish at the end. There we go. My leaves are done and ready. All right. Now what we're going to do, we've done the chicken, we've done the garlic and the ginger, and we've done the onion. So now it's the tikka paste. We want 4 tablespoons. Now remember, my tablespoons are 15 ml, and this could really make or break the dish, to be honest, because if you put in a bigger spoon, it would be way too hot. So 4, 1, 2, 3, and isn't this so much easier than having to try and make it up yourself? Who could be bothered? Hello? This is what we do here at Simply Too Good. I look at a recipe and think, how can I make this fabulously low in saturated fat and calories and still be authentic and simple? Because I don't know about you guys, but I love to cook, but I don't want to work too hard at it. So, oh my gosh, can you smell that? Oh gosh, it's divine. All right, so now we're going to put in a teaspoon of the chicken stock powder. And the can of the diced tomatoes, and I really like using the no added salt, because that's about heart health as well. All right, so mix this in. This is such an easy recipe. It's really one of those ones that if you think, oh, I don't know what, I'm sick of chops and veggies, I don't have much time. Hello? This is the go-to for sure. Indian tikka out of book 6, as well as cooking for 1 or 2. And as I said, put in your post in the comments, what's the weather like where you are? I'm really interested because up here on the Sunshine Coast, it's a bit miserable. Alrighty, so now the last thing we've got to do is get your can puncher. We're going to put in the full can of evaporated light milk. Now, if you can't do dairy, then what I suggest, because I love to give you suggestions for everything. So with this, you can do chicken, beef, lamb, or tofu. So I've got you covered there. And I reckon you could do fish. But I would dice up the fish, cook it, and then add it right at the end with the coriander so it doesn't break up. And now what we're going to do is put in a teaspoon of corn flour plus a teaspoon of coconut essence. Now, if you're having trouble finding the coconut essence in Woolies and Coles, that's because they don't sell it anymore. Boo! I know, what's wrong with you people? Anyway, you can get it in most IGA stores, so put your teaspoon in there, and this then becomes like a coconut cream, but much lower in fat than normal. You can also go to the Queen's website, queens.com.au I think it's called. Let's pour it in. Are you caught up with me? And look, if this was for a cup of coconut cream, it's about 40 grams of fat, and the light one is about 20. A cup of this, doing it Annette's way, is 4 grams. Hello? That's how we roll here. Healthy and fabulous. Oh, look at this. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And, you know, because there's no veggies in it, apart from like the tomatoes, I always do veggies or salad on the side. I have got my rice ready to go, and I always recommend the basmati rice. And now what are we going to do? In goes the coriander. A beautiful Indian dish, tikka chicken. I reckon your family is going to just love. Look at this. I mean, who knew weight loss could be so deliciously healthy? Hello, you are welcome. Book 6 and Cooking for 1 or 2. That's right. Now all I'm doing is waiting for it to boil like you are. And then the key here with evaporated milk is you don't boil the buggery out of it. Let's be honest, it's not cream. Once it's boiled, either turn it off or reduce it right down just to hold the heat, because if you overboil the evaporated milk, it kind of separates. You can still eat it, it's fine, it just doesn't look that great. So that's my tip for you today, remember that. Just once it's boiled, stop. Okay, now on next week, on Thursday, oh my gosh, I'm excited, a real favourite. I made it for a party. I had to bring something along. I made it last week, or last Saturday, at a housewarming party, and it made me think about that. Yes, let's do it on the show on Thursday. It's the ham and corn slice out of book 7. It's also in Cooking for 1 or 2, so we're using the 2 books. So you've got the bigger serve or the smaller serve, and it is one of those ones, it's time to bring it back. The summer's coming close, it's great with a salad, good for lunch, easy dinner, and it freezes really well. Alrighty, now you ask yourself, what are we going to cook on the show next week with the Home Ec with Annette? Well, we're going to China. That's right, it is the sweet and sour pork out of book 2. Now, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes sweet and sour pork can be just a little bit too much. But my version is delish. So make sure you go to the website, download the recipe, sweet and sour pork, and there's variations if you don't want to do pork, and we'll make it together. I know, how fabulous. All right, so how do you think this is going to go for dinner tonight? I think it's fantastic. I've got the basmati rice. Let's put it into this gorgeous bowl. Indian tikka chicken, looking fabulous. Serves 4. There we go. Done and dusted. Another cooking class, it's a wrap. Sorry for the beginning where it just went off, so that's a bit unfortunate, but we can't control that. So now, if you want to win book 6, Indian tikka chicken, or you can choose the Cooking for 1 or 2, up to you. All you have to do is like, share, and then in the comments, you put a photo of your tikka chicken. It's that easy. Now remember, if you want any more tips or recipes, and you know the recipe for next week will be on simplytoogood.com.au, and that's where you'll see all the different products, all the cookbooks, the shakes, the knives, the cookware. Have a browse around, have a play, and there's lots of resources there for you as well. So thanks for joining me for another cooking class. I'll catch you on Thursday. Here we go. Yum. Bye now.